All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Title Tuesday. The tournament is starting in just 2 minutes here. It's gonna get going. How's everyone doing? What is up? Hello. What is up, Chess.com? If you guys don't know me, I'm National Master Kostya Kavutsky. I'm an international master. That is a FIDE title that I had to earn. That is one notch below Grandmaster. Which we'll be seeing a lot of in this event. And yeah, guys, well, I'm a full-time streamer. I'm usually streaming on my own channel, Chess Dojo Live. Shout out to Dojo folks if anyone's watching. But today we are going to be following the Title Tuesday Blitz event, which is always just like powerful. I mean, it's just packed with 2900s, 3000 super GMs. Insane the lineup. I mean, we have Arabic Falcon, that's Salem, like super strong player out of United Arab Emirates, Sanan Sujirov, David Paravian, Jeffrey Xiong, Yospim from Peru, Champ 2005 from India. I mean, India has like, I'm not sure who this is. India has a bunch of good players. Is this Ronak? Let me quickly check out Champ. Yeah, that's Ronak Sudwani. Then we have Alexander Bortnik, Yapi, that's Van Forest, I think. Fair Chess on YouTube. I'm pretty sure that's Dmitry Ondrakin. Yeah, guys, when Dmitry Ondrakin is a 9th seed in an event, you know it's it's pretty strong. Okay, the games are underway, so let's check it out. We have Salem here as black playing against a national master. Let's check out the top seed. And if there are any players you guys want me to take a look at, just let me know in the Twitch chat. We can check out anyone's games here. Okay, wow, crazy opening right off the start. I mean, this is already, this is going to be moving pretty fast, guys, so try not to blink if you can. D3 from white, that looks like a mouse slip. I think he meant to play D4. That might be our first mouse slip of the day. Black goes ahead and takes advantage, takes some space, and now, yeah, black is just going for everything here with H5, very aggressive, just advancing. Now white commits with H4, and I imagine black is going to bring the knight out soon and try to use this G4 square, yeah, and there he goes. Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? Max, Paul, K Poco, Tons of Mike, how are you guys doing? Tons of Mike with the 21-month sub. Now this isn't my channel, but I'm sure Chess.com appreciates the 21 months very much, Tons of Mike, so thanks for that. Hey, we got Simon in the chat, Dor, Dripman, Goomba, nice, it's nice. No, I am not playing, no, I'm not playing this event. That would be too... Look, guys, if you want to watch me blunder, you can go watch me on Chess Dojo Live any day of the week. But for now, we're going to be focusing on the players that actually play like really good chess, even in these super fast time controls. You guys can see the eval bar here on the left side. I mainly just included it because otherwise I had room for it in the layout, and without it, the layout would kind of look empty. So there it is. I'm not going to pay attention to it too much, but yeah, it's hard. I mean, the eyes like to wander, right? Whenever that thing starts bouncing down. How often do I plan my ceiling tiles? Not often, but I will close my eyes and kind of think about chess positions sometimes. That definitely is a thing. When I watch chess on my own, do I watch with engine on? It kind of depends. If I'm watching an event with commentary, I prefer the engine off. I'll be honest with you guys. I would rather have Yasser Seirawan or Svidler or whoever it is. I would rather just hear their thoughts without being affected by what the engine is like. Because the engine, guys, I mean, it gives you all kinds of random moves. It'll say oh, A5 plus 2 for black. This move makes no sense, right, to any human beings in the position, right? Black is instead just developing his pieces here, making normal moves. It's the human instincts, guys, that are actually going to be more instructive, in my opinion, than the engine lines, right? Human instincts over engine lines any day of the week, IMO. So personally, I don't like watching with the engine on, but I know some players do, so I don't mind it. Have you ever played chess on a road trip, like a double blindfold game? Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's a big way that chess players spend time together, like on trains or on road trips. You ever need to kill time and you don't have like electronic devices, God forbid. Yeah, blindfold chess. Just someone starts e4, c5, knight f3, e6, d4, cd4, knight. You just play. And you just try to hold the position in your head. If you make an illegal move, you lose. But it's a lot of fun. Hey, GM Nakeson's in the chat. What's up, Arters? Good to see you. Shout out to GM Nakesons, another one of our Chess.com streamers. Hey, Steve. Good to see you as well. So yeah, we're just following. This is the first game, round one. Looks like some players have already won their first games here. And yeah, we're just taking a look at Grandmaster Salem here, who is really doing, I would say, quite well so far. Now, guys, let me try to fix one thing here with the standings. Because I actually want to include the actual scores of the players. Just give me a second here, and we will get the right crop. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. And we already have some players winning their first game, including Badur Jabava, aka Exotic Princess there. Very cool, very cool. Okay, I'm gonna cut it and make it real clean now. And then I saw Tiger v Schleip. I think, pretty sure that's Komsky as well. Z Kid, that's Grandmaster Steven Zirk. Yeah, a lot of amazing players in here, guys. A lot of amazing players. Well, let's see what's going on in this game. Looks like Black has taken over the A file, and this is a typical way we try to attack. But White does have a square for the king on c2. Oh, and there comes the killer, Bishop a4. Oh man, well that's what we call a skewer in the business. I don't know what the kids are calling it these days, but in my day we called that a skewer. Okay, so that's going to be a GG, our first GG of the day for Arabic Falcon, aka Grandmaster Salem. So let's see, we have Sujirov on board 2, and looks like he is winning this bishop versus knight endgame. Just looking at it really quickly, he's got an extra pawn on the queen side, and he's running with his king to make a passed a pawn that the knight is going to have a really hard time dealing with. But Black is trying, just creating at least some play on the king side, but ultimately I think White should be winning this one. The bishop is just so strong in these positions, can attack so many things, but yeah, I think he should be able to win this one. Although he only has 10 seconds, guys. I mean, 1 second increment, probably enough for like a super GM to win this, like Sujirov. For me, nah, I'm drawing this most of the time. I'm either drawing or like flagging, but I think he's gonna win it. The bishop is just very strong now. He has 2 pawns on the king side, and yeah, this bishop will just sit on f3, and it'll be very hard for Black to do anything here. Hey, what's up, everyone? Yeah, welcome, guys. Hope you're enjoying it. And now White just has 2 outside passers, very, very strong. Black can stop the a pawn with the king, but he can't stop the h pawn. That one is just a goner. And look at White's bishop. White's bishop can not only support both pawns, but also blockade Black's pawn. That's why the bishop is so much better than the knight in these endgames. The knight is just like super clumsy, where the bishop can do like 3 different jobs at once. And here, I think it's, yeah, pretty much resignable for Black, but he should, of course, play on. I mean, it's 3 seconds on the guy's clock. Who knows? He might disconnect for a second, like you went on forfeit. I mean, it's lucky, but hey, it's Title Tuesday. We take those. We take those. And now Bishop h5, classic, dominating the knight. And yeah, White doesn't even need the bishop, actually, to win this one anymore. That knight is trapped. Okay, GG to Sujirov there. Very well played endgame. Let's check out board 3. We have David Paravian actually completely lost in this king and pawn endgame. I assume his opponent is going to win it. He shows the right technique. That's our first huge upset of the day. David Paravian going down. He's just a beast of a blitz player. Let's check out Jeffrey Xiong. He won. Okay, I think we're getting to that stage where we're just going to have to wait for the games to refresh. Okay, who's still playing here? Bortnick. Okay, Bortnick, is he trying to win this or hold it? Honestly, I'm not sure. Not sure. Feels like he's probably trying to hold it, but we'll see. This is okay, classic blitz situation. Now in 3-0, this is anyone's game, but this is 3-1. So, ideally, okay. Oh, he offered the trade. Oh, the guy didn't see it. Oh no, dude, he gave you the he gave you the draw. Oh, that's unfortunate. And that wasn't dirty at all by Bortnick. I think he was he gave the guy a chance to end the game. That's it. White had 5 seconds. Plenty of time to not pre-move, guys. Classic pre-move blunder right there. Classic pre-move blunder. There is no reason to be pre-moving here. You have 5 seconds on the clock, 1 second increment, and the opponent can always, attack your rook. You don't know. So pre-move blunder there. Big pre-move blunder. Very instructive stuff. Okay, let's go to our last game of the round. Now, usually I'm expecting like rook versus bishop, or like rook and bishop versus rook. King and queen endgame. I think this one was actually going to end soon. Yeah, I think black is taking this one. All right. Hey, what's up, Chess Brainiac? How's it going? Okay, black wins this game. I would expect the next games to be starting in a moment now, as these rounds start automatically, and we have over 500 players in the event. Okay, round 2, guys. Once again, let me know if there's someone you would like to watch. I'm just going to start opening up games. We have, again, Salem, Sujirov. Maybe we can check out Jeffrey Xiong for the moment. We didn't see his first game too much. We got Benjamin Bach playing. Yeah, tons of big players in the field. Okay, so classic Queen's Gambit declined here from Benjamin Bach. This, I'm sure, will be a very interesting game to look at. And we have some kind of Sicilian from Jeffrey Xiong, I believe. Yeah, kind of like a Taimanov, Paulson, Khan hybrid with early knight c6, white trades, puts the bishop on d3. This is considered a very kind of reliable setup for white, pretty solid, I would say, pretty reasonable. But Jeffrey here is getting his bishop out, controlling the e5 square, getting a tempo on this pawn, and my guess is he wants to develop the knight to e7. So if we put the knight on f6 here, it might run into some e5 stuff. So black should probably be careful. But white takes twice on d5. He does have a pin, but this knight is pinned. Oh boy. Oh boy. And with the huge double attack, rook on e1 hanging, guys, this just might be over. The engine's saying it's like not that bad for white. Maybe white has some like crazy engine move here, but this looks really bad. This knight is pinned and this rook is hanging. So b4, but yeah, now he can just take on d5. Maybe white's idea is bishop e4 and trying to win something back. So Jeffrey's going to calculate like queen d5, bishop e4, queen e5 here, and kind of figure it out, I would imagine. You can also take on d5 with the bishop, but then when white takes the queen, black is going to take on f3, white is going to win that piece back, so that's not super clear. My feeling is queen d5 has to be, looks very good here for black. Looks really good. Bishop e4, queen e5, we hit one rook, we hit the second rook with checkmate, and we hit h2 just for good measure as well. Does white have any other ideas? No, very curious that Jeffrey, he's taking his time here. He's thinking about this one. He's calculating something. So clearly he doesn't think it's so obvious, because he can calculate much faster than we can. But he's thinking about something here. Wow, he takes on b4. I'm really surprised he didn't take on d5. But he must have, oh wait, this is losing. So yeah, he must have figured out, oh, there's bishop e4, queen e5, bishop c6 check, guys. That's what I missed. Oh yeah, that's a killer. My bad. That's on me, guys. That's on me. Yeah, queen is lost here. Okay, so yeah, that shows why Jeffrey is who he is. He takes. And, well, now, okay, again, white is under huge pressure here because rook is hanging and knight is still hanging, right? If black can just take on d5 with the bishop, that's just an extra piece. Yeah. Can Xiong calculate? Yeah, Xiong can calculate real well. And, okay, now his opponent is running low on time here. But what can you do? If you have critical situation like this, you have to think, right? You just have to look for the best possible chance. Okay, he goes for knight f6 check. That looks really interesting. Queen takes b7, gets out of the pin, and now black just castles, right? He didn't have time to take this rook because white is grabbing on a8. So white is defending really well here so far. I think he's managed to at least survive, but black definitely feels like still has some initiative, and now actually might have some tactics. Rook b8, bishop c3 coming, and white's rook is kind of trapped. So maybe we're winning the exchange here. Let's see what white comes up with. He's thinking about it because he sees bishop c3 coming. He's like, uh-oh, what am I going to do on this one? But what can he do? Queen c6, queen f3 look like the only moves. Oh, I guess he can take on a6 as well and go for the endgame. But then he's going to be down the exchange. But you know what, guys? Maybe the endgame is the best try. Yeah, I'm with white here. I think maybe this is actually some chances. Oh, bishop a3. Very nice find. Very nice find. Hitting the rook. All of a sudden, Engine thinks white's better. Wow, that's crazy. Both players, we almost have missed something because I thought black is doing fantastic here, but turns out not so easy, guys. And white is actually somewhat okay after this nice counterattack. So now black is thinking again, if he takes, white is taking on f8. King takes f8, rook takes a1. All of a sudden, black needs to be careful here. White might be left with outside a-pawn. Yeah, all of a sudden, I think black has to be very, very careful here. We might see Jeffrey make some move, like rook e8, just kind of keeping more tension on the board. Very interesting, guys. Very interesting. Well, he spends almost all his time there, goes rook fd8, and kind of admitting that, yeah, he is not really better anymore. Now white is just up a pawn, and no time for rook a8 because there was a back rank issue. White would get out, but now white needs to be careful because now rook a8 is a real threat. Okay, bishop e7, maybe going for opposite color bishops. Pretty safe, pretty safe. Let's see what black takes with here. Takes with the pawn, bishop c4, and now white is just kind of rock solid. So yeah, I think white is holding steady here. Can you win this? I think winning this for white would be very, very difficult with the opposite color bishops, especially if like the rooks come off. But at this point, objectively, the only side that should have winning chances here is white. Normal, why are you here? You're watching this. Yeah, definitely I think Xiong's disappointed. Now white looks to be winning after snagging that h-pawn, but this is a dangerous situation because white has 10 seconds and he's winning, right? So he's he's now maybe pushing for the win, and pushing for the win takes time, right? It takes time off the clock. You got to spend time looking for moves. You can't just move like back and forth. So he's going to probably try to win this, as he should. Bravo. I mean, yeah, try to win. I mean, you have a winning position, but whenever you try to win, you also take on risk of like spending all your time and flagging once the situation gets a little messy. But I think he's doing steady here. If e3, then he's going to go rook to d1 and challenge. And black is just holding on here. Going full blockade mode is Jeffrey. We'll see what white can, if white can break through. Oh, white is in huge danger of flagging. Oh my god, 1 second. Dude, you gotta move, you gotta move. Jeffrey just going full flagging mode. Man, So fast. So fast. And he might have held it now. He might have actually held it. This bishop on h8. There's checkmate. Bishop c3. Can you go e2? Oh man, he's promoting. He actually found a way. He found a way to win this, guys. See, that's what I said, guys. That's what I said. When you try to win, you open yourself up to losing. I mean, I think he did the right thing, though. I mean, but that's the danger. You run like low on time, your opponent finds one trick, you have 2 seconds, all of a sudden your opponent is queening. Very, very dangerous. But well played by Jeffrey. Well played. Good blitz skills there. Okay, let's see who else is happening. Okay, we have Jordan Van Forest. What's going on here? He is trying to win this queen and pawn endgame. It looks very close to winning because White's king feels very dubious on d1. Just runs into a lot of checks. It's going to be really hard, I think, for White to hold this one. No, I don't think anyone was using the engine there. I think, no, both players were playing a really good game. Yeah. Let's see who else we got. All right, we have I am Elo Hunter. It's I am D Timmerman. Battle of the IAMs. Nice. I mean, whose side are we seeing this from? This is White's point of view. Okay, I'm so confused. Okay, this looks drawn. Both rooks are going to be given up for the opponent's passed pawns. And classic rook endgame draw. Well played there, gents. Let's go to the next one. Okay, looks like White managed to convert with a small material advantage on this one. Oh, we have Alexander Goryachkina playing. Wow. Unfortunately, she lost her game, but wow, another superstar in the field. And okay, one game remaining. Gilbert against WFM Shushik. I think White is going to convert this one. Oh, classy checkmate, guys. Classy checkmate. Doesn't go for the face-to-face. Goes for the side. This is very classy because it's like not an obvious mating pattern, but played very quickly. Okay, let's see. Looks like round 3 will be starting already. And we're off, guys. Round 3 is underway. We have NTBT. I'm not sure who this is. That's FM Son Dang from Vietnam against Arabic Falcon. And let's see who else we have. Ronak Sudwani against Grandmaster Oscariot. Who is this? Oscariot is Oscar Witcherek from International. Cool. Man without a nation. All right, let's see what's happening here. Okay, this was some kind of sharp stuff. So B3, I don't know if this is a nod to like Audubon's course on Chessable, but like Magnus played B3 yesterday, and there was this whole thing on Twitter, and now this guy's playing B3. Maybe it's just a blitz opening. I don't know. So B3, C4, knight f3, d5. White grabs this pawn, d4. Some kind of pawn sacrifice from black to kind of shut down White's bishop. At least I assume it was a pawn sacrifice. I'm not really sure. Knight f3, d5. I mean, it was played very, very quickly. Knight takes e5. I don't know. He spent some time on d4. Maybe not planned. Maybe not planned to sack this pawn. But he's committing. Now he's going h5. I mean, very exciting game. And h4. Very cool. Can we take a look at can the Carol win? Yeah, absolutely, guys. Actually, let me know if there are any other players to you want me to check out. We can try to find them. Although it might be hard unless they are somewhere in the top. But I can follow them, actually. That's Atulia Vadia, right? National Master and streamer. Can the Carol win? Oh, here we go. And he's playing Grandmaster from Armenia. This is Gevorg Hartunian. And let's see, how's Atulia doing here? Not great, guys. To be honest with you, he's under a lot of pressure. I mean, it's tough to play. It's tough to play against Grandmasters. It's really tough. Yeah. Why can't I see Hikaru on the Chess.com leaderboards? So Hikaru is actually playing a different event. He's playing like the crypto champs with like Magnus and like the world's best players. So unfortunately, he's not here to dominate Title Tuesday. And others can can get a chance. Okay, looks like white has broken through here. Yeah, now queen for 2 rooks, but black's king is just way too open. So the 2 rooks here will never really have a chance to fight. Bishop f4, just setting his sights, e6. And yeah, that's going to be a GG in short order. Okay, well played there by the Armenian GM. I want to jump back to this game, just because I thought this was a really interesting one. Black is kind of playing like Budapest Gambit style. He's got this rook on b6. And, well, actually not sure where this one was going. I think it was going to g6 originally, but now white is trying to shut down the g-file. Could be really dangerous. And yeah, black goes for this very thematic sacrifice with takes on g4. He's going to use the h-pawn at some point. I think it's not that easy for white here, for sure. I think black's attack is really, really strong. Just h3, bishop d6, queen h4. During the game, guys, you don't have access to the engine evaluation. You don't really know what's going on. Yeah, I would imagine white here is pretty scared. Oh, Shojibava. Yeah, let me see if I can find Exotic Princess. Classic username from Badur. Oh, Badur is playing Roberto. This is the winner of the I Am Not a GM Speed Chess Championship held earlier this year. And let's see what's going on. Well, we just walked into some tactics. d8, queen e6. Yeah, Badur is doing well. Badur is doing really, really well here. Looks like he's up a pawn. e2 is hanging. He's got the 2 bishops. White's knight is not really great. Yeah, he's cruising here. He's cruising. But we'll see. We'll see if he can. We'll see how he converts this one. Okay, queen e5. So offering the endgame. If white takes, he's just going to take back. So queen f3. Now maybe bishop d5. Not sure if black really wants to exchange these light square bishops or not, but I think it would make sense. Bishop d5 and like even bishop e4, something like that. But he's thinking about it. Just bishop f6, very, very calm. I guess maybe he just wants to improve. King g7, g5, and just slowly advance. Kind of demonstrate to white that white has no moves. It is kind of a nice blitz idea. Like, you just don't do anything forcing, and then your opponent has to figure out what to do. So white spent some time there, played queen d3, now king g7. Again, your move, my friend. Okay, knight to e1. And now Badur can think about how to progress and improve his position from here. Okay, queen e7, still kind of shuffling. Maybe eyeing this b4 square. Okay, white covers that with knight to c2. And yeah, what to do? Okay, queen c5, taking some space, maybe looking for bishop c4 ideas. Oh, h5, Roberto's fighting back, creating some counterplay. g5 though, pawn is defended. White can't do anything. Bishop h3, inducing g4. Black says, okay, I'll play this one. And now white's knight is very far away from this f4 square. See guys, I can't even make an arrow like to get there. It's very hard. So, but he's going to try. I think he's going to try to get the knight to d3 and f4. Okay, bishop h5, snagging a pawn. Now this bishop desperately needs to get back. And then the knight goes, knight e1. And he's going for the d3 square. So black's going to try to mess with him a little bit. Okay, queen b4. That has to force the queen trade. Rook is hanging. White takes. Knight on d3. Now the knight will get the f4 square, but black is now, looks like 2 pawns up. So really not enough. Really not enough. Okay, more pawn breaks, more counterplay. But Badur says that's just a trade. I'm just going to probably take the c-file at some point. And yeah, should convert this one. But white is fighting. White is fighting. Knight b3. Now is the a-pawn hanging, or does black have rook a8? He might just have rook a8, so he might ignore that one with h5 exactly. And now white's like, oh no, I'm not ready to take the pawn. So king f1. Now maybe h4. Okay, he goes f4. So this is like classic principle of 2 weaknesses here, using the h-pawn. It gives up the d pawn, but it looks like he's going to get this endgame, which just looks completely crushing. Extra pawn, outside pass pawn here for black. Good bishop. I think he'll convert this one. Bishop d5. Bishop f3. White can't take because then black would have the a-pawn that's promoting, and now king just kind of walks in. Bishop b3, he's trying to hold on, but I think black just has too many roads here to make progress, too many things. Now the a-pawn can be pushed. Okay, he pushes b3. Interesting. Now he can still break like this one. Bishop will have to come back to f5. But now he can take, and both pieces unable to deal with black's pass pawns. Really nice finish there. Very nice. Okay, let's quickly go back. Looks like Arabic Falcon was held to a draw by the FM. Let's see any other games we have remaining. Jeffrey Xiong, he won against, I was going to say, oh, he beat Giri. No, that's just the Giri profile picture, guys. It's not actually Giri. It's just a profile picture. Okay, let's see any other games still going. Sajirov won by timeout in apparently worse position, but his opponent ran out of time, probably thinking he's lost. But maybe knight f5 here. Black is kind of holding. Well, you could also have traded queens. Wow, queen trade was available. Yeah, something happened there. It looks like black flagged, perhaps unnecessarily. Let's see. Bortnik lost. Wow, a lot of upsets. A lot of players going down. Let's see. Chess Warrior 7197. I'm pretty sure this is the young phenom Norderbek of Dusatora from Uzbekistan, young grandmaster. And he's up a pawn, and yeah, make no mistake, guys, he is trying to convert this one. He's got the knight endgame. I think black has really good drawing chances, but I think white also has decent winning chances, so not going to be that easy. Love knight g7 though, bringing the knight over to h5 to just put pressure on white's weakness, and this makes it very hard for white to make any progress because he really needs his king to do something here, but pawn on g3 needs to be defended. So I think he's going to defend it with the knight and now try to bring in the king, and then at some point look for a chance to move the knight in. But I think if black plays this one correctly, should be holding. But it'll be pretty tough. Hey, what level do I think positional decision-making in chess by Gelfand is suited for? I would say like 2,000 plus. I would recommend that book. 2,000 plus. Really, really just for advanced players. Because the Gelfand books are really great, but yeah, I would say pretty advanced. They kind of go into some high-level stuff. Okay, still trying to convert here. And only 3 seconds. Oh, dropping the h-pawn. Yeah, not enough time here for white. And I think the players will be likely making a draw soon. Black can go knight e6, just take on f4, and that's it. Okay, now black is playing. Now black is like, you know what, maybe you should you should force a draw. I have more time. Yeah, absolutely, Jackster. Okay, that's gonna do it for this game. Yeah, sometimes, you know, these guys, they like to troll. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, looks like white won this one. Let's see, we got Tampa chess, nice, with the bishop and knight mate there at the end. Okay, guys, next round is starting. This is round 4. We got Jobava. Someone asked to follow Ariantari. Yeah, absolutely. Let me follow him. He's an incredibly strong blitz player as well from Norway. And let's see how he's doing. So Aryan is on 3 out of 3, and he's playing FIDE Master Samuel Gimpu 2003. Samuel Gimpu, that is his name. Okay. All right, what do we have here? So B3, A5. Okay, very, let's say, offbeat attempt to refute the Larsen. White goes E4, E6, and now we just have like kind of a weird French Alekhine hybrid. White taking a lot of space with C4. Now black fixing this one with A3. This is going to be very very dynamic structure. I mean, really, really fascinating stuff. White is taking a bunch of space, but black is going to fight and chip away against it. So we'll see how he creates counterplay soon. Yeah, guys, we're going to have a 5-minute break after this round. And then the players will get a bit of a breather. Although I've played a number of Title Tuesdays, guys, and honestly, like, sometimes the breaks come and it's like, I just want to play the next game. Like, just like sitting there waiting. Like, oh man, I just want to play the next one. Oh, we also have GM Hess playing. Let me open up his game. I'm sure you guys are fans of Robert. He is also on 3 out of 3 and playing really strong blitz player, Renato Terry, 29-20. So I'm not even sure who's the favorite here. Like, Robert's the GM, but dude's got like 200 points on him in terms of the blitz rating. So yeah, we have kind of interesting endgame here. White structure is a little bit weakened, but so is black's. I mean, I feel like ultimately probably black is okay here, but yeah, it should be an interesting one. Let me drop back to Tari, because this game I think is quite fascinating. So on c4 a3, white traded a bunch. d4, bishop b5 check. Getting kind of a solid structure here. Maybe c6 for black. Bishop g4. Bishop g4 is a very annoying move, just wanting to trade off on f3 and weaken white structure. I don't think white should allow that. Probably should play like queen f4 or move the knight or something. But now black can go ahead and take on f3. Yeah, and I think he's getting yeah, pretty solid situation here. Oh, gf, white decides, you know what, I am going to take with the g-pawn and try to attack you. You know what, Aryan Tari, I'm not afraid of you. I'm just going to go rook g1. And yeah, do your worst, man. Do your worst. And I think Aryan Tari is going to do his worst. I think white might live to regret this decision. But it'll be interesting for us to at least watch. So gf3, black is thinking about it here. He could just castle, but he is kind of, you know, walking into white's attack here. Queen e7 is also a solid move. He goes for queen a5 check, giving a check, asking white where he wants to go. Engine hates this for black. Engine is saying white, that was not a good check. I'm thinking maybe white should have just put the king on e2 and connected the rooks. But yeah, now white's play is looks pretty dangerous, and I feel like black's queen might be kind of misplaced here. This queen a5 check might not have been such a great move here from Aryan, because it feels like the queen is just going to have to come back to the king side anyway. Oh, e6, look at this, opening everything up. Now he's ready to come in, just sack the bishop on g6 and checkmate with the queen and rook. This has become extremely dangerous for black. Extremely dangerous. And now black is kicking himself. Why can't he play queen e7 in this position and hold everything? Yeah, now what the queen is doing on a5. Really instructive mistake, guys. I mean, obviously the guy is much stronger than me, but all these players are fallible and can make mistakes. So knight a6, let's see how he tries to hold it. He's, I think, just getting the pieces out, connecting rooks, hoping for the best. And now white can probably just take on f7 here and look to break through. Guessing rook takes f7. Try to defend on the 7th rank. King f7 just looks super scary. And yeah, now white should be looking for a knockout. Maybe takes on g6. Yeah, he just goes for it. Bravo. I looks really strong. I mean, this is going to be black's extra piece, guys. And black's extra piece controls exactly 0 squares on the king side, right? So this is kind of white's point for going for the sacrifice. You open up the king, and it's like you're down a piece, but not really. Yeah, you're not really down a piece on the side of the board where it matters, guys. What I want you to imagine like 2 separate chessboards, right? And like on this side of the board, white is winning, and on this side of the board, black is winning. But there's no kings on this right side of the board, right? So this is the only one that matters. Oh, look at king e2. Absolutely sick. And rook to g1 coming next. Yeah, and that's it. Black's piece is just caught out of bounds here. Yeah. Yeah, very nice sack there. Bishop takes h7, takes queen e7, king e2. Now black has no checks, and it's basically game over. Okay, king h8. Still, maybe white can mess this up, though. Like rook g1 allows at least a couple checks. So what to do? Maybe queen h4 and then rook g1, but then you're in danger of letting the king run. He's going to go for the checks, though. Queen h7 here. Yeah, it should be mating. It should be mating. Just king is, yeah. Yeah, he resigns there, but it was very simple. Rook g6, queen h5. Okay, brilliant game. Brilliant game from Samuel. Absolutely brilliant. Amazing. Let's jump to Robert Hess. We saw a little bit of this endgame earlier. It looks like he's kind of improved his position. 9 on e6, really, really strong. Did black have a perpetual there? Well, only if white gave black the chance, but no, white was giving checks there, Paul. So black had no time to deliver any kind of any counterplay. Okay, now this game is crazy because like it looks like white is winning, but he's down on time. So very, very difficult to convert because like the position is so sharp. It's like a million things going on. It's like you have 3 seconds. You literally have to move instantly here, guys. I mean, the 1 second increment is nice, but you really just have to move immediately. It's not like you have a second to think and then you can move. Like, no, you just gotta like make the first move you see, pretty much. And it's, yeah, very, very difficult to convert positions that are this messy. But I feel like Robert is doing great. Okay, repeats once, gives the check, trying to build up some time. Bishop e4. I think he's feeling it. I think he's got it. He's like improving his position, but it's going to be really hard against this 9 on f4. He might just repeat moves here. No, he takes. He takes. No draw. No draw. King f2 now. Wow, very close. Very close. But remember the danger, guys. When you try to win, as soon as things get a little messy, it's like, oh, you're looking for a win, you flag. So you got to be very, very careful that you keep the pace. Oh, nice checkmate there by Robert. Beautiful. Bravo. Absolute bravo. Okay, next game here. Let me see who we got. Alexander Zubov, draw by insufficient material. Ronak Sudwani wins by checkmate. How about Yapi? Yapi goes down. Van Forest also loses. International Master Gloomy Wanderer. Looks like he white had extra rook and was winning for probably some time. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see. Sujirov lost. Also, yeah, a lot of the top guys going down this round. Let's see. Jeffrey Xiong. Jeffrey Xiong wins. He stays with perfect score, 4 out of 4. So we have Vert Knott at the top of the standings. That's Gawain Jones, Samuel Gimpu, Z-Kid. Yeah, a lot of players still on 4 out of 4. I see Prague Chess. That's the Phenom, Pragnananda. Let's see, any more games? Yeah, a couple more games here. Let's see. We got Chess Warrior. Norderbeck. Oh, look at this endgame, guys. Look at this endgame. Heavy piece. Can black win? He has the initiative, but is white holding? Amazing. You never see this kind of endgame. Oh, queen e4 there was an instant draw. Trading everything. Man, this looks very dangerous. I feel like very dangerous for white, especially with seconds. But he's holding it. He's holding it. King c3. Queen e5. They've just been repeating moves. Oh man, but this is so tense. I feel like black might find something. I feel like, oh, queen e6, rook e3. Oh, he had rook e3, guys. Oh no, he takes. He wins. Oh man. Queen e6, what a blunder. He had rook e3 and he just takes. Oh man, and this was him giving the draw to his opponent. This was him being like, okay, we can make a draw. Oh, brutal. Brutal. I could have taken here, of course. Man, white wins this. Who could have guessed? Who could have predicted that? That's a real... What a twist. All right, any other games? Let's see. This one's over. Okay, I think that's it, guys. I think tournament is going on break for 5 minutes. That's it for round 4. We got Kovalov, so what's his name? Sudwani, Ronik, Mishanik, Prague Chess. Yeah, at the top of the standings, tons of players on 4 out of 4. I'm gonna go on a quick break, guys. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and yeah, we'll be back for more Title Tuesday, guys. See y'all soon. All right, guys, welcome back. We got round 5 here starting for Titled Tuesday. And yeah, the games are underway. Here we have Jobava against FM from the Netherlands. And let me know, guys, if there are any other players you want me to follow. I'm happy to open up their games. Let's check out some of the top boards. Ooh, we got Steve Zirk, friend of mine, against Jeffrey Xiong. You know, guys, we're going to watch this game. This is my bias here. I know Steve, I know Jeffrey. They're very nice people. And they're really, really strong, guys. I mean, these are some pretty sick players. They're both on 4 out of 4. We're going to watch this game. Commentator's privilege. Let's let's take a look. So this was French, e4, e6, d4, d5, knight c3. Winner were with knight e2, knight c6. Kind of delayed exchange here. Bishop f4, queen d2, and looks like white is looking to castle queenside, I take it. Put the bishop on d3 and just take aim at black's kingside there. Very, very sharp, dynamic position. So bishop b6, hitting the pawn on d4. Hey, Yusuf. Hey, how's it going, man? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's good to be here, guys. If you don't know me, I'm Kostia. I don't stream for Chess.com often, but I used to. I used to cover like events and stuff pretty frequently. Nowadays, I'm mainly streaming on my own channel, Chess Dojo Live on Twitch. We've got a YouTube channel as well that I'll quickly mention. But yeah, it's good to be here. I generally don't follow Title Tuesday too much, but like I love doing commentary on the event because then I get to watch like all the top guys play. It's like my job to look at high level games. Like that's just ideal for me. I would love it if my full-time job was to just look at the 2900s in the world and check them out. Okay, b3, covering the c4 square at the cost of weakening the queen side, but I think it's okay for white. Now queen h4, Jeffrey hits him from this angle. Knight g1, that's a funny move. Heading to f3 to challenge black's queen. Bishop g4, hold up, bishop g5? Excuse me, guys, bishop g5. Oh man, I think both players missed it, but I had the fortunate, right, eval there, you know, so I could see it was like +5, so it was like, whoa, +5, oh, bishop g5 must be winning. And these guys, they don't see the eval bar, you know, they don't see it, and now I think it's too late. Now Jeffrey has dropped back, and now on bishop g5 the d4 pawn there was hanging. So okay, now white starts developing. f5, oh, f5, that's a nasty move. That is very difficult to meet. Okay, goes knight h5. He's fighting for that f4 square. But black might be able to push f4 anyway and try to use something on the e-file. Goes rook e8. And now if white castles, he's going to have to be really worried about f4 here because this bishop on e2 is going to be hanging. Yeah, tough one for white. And if he goes knight f4, then takes, bishop on e2, he might have to do something like g3 here just to control the f4 square, but it's a tough move to make. Okay, bishop g5, attacking the queen. I imagine black tries to stay on the e-file here, but he doesn't have a ton of squares. If queen e4 could get hit with knight g3, right? If queen e6, maybe knight f4 there. So we'll see how Jeffrey deals with this one. He's thinking about it. He can also just like sidestep, like queen f7. Let the rook do the work on the e-file. But then it feels like he loses a little bit of an initiative, right? If he goes queen f7. Okay, he does it. But now it feels like maybe white can just castle and at least get out of danger in the center. Unless he has some tricky stuff planned. Maybe he wants to play f4 and start hunting down white's bishop. It still feels quite awkward for white here because the pieces feel like they might not have enough squares. But we'll see if Steve can figure his issues out. So he castles f4, and now black is probably thinking about h6 here. Just start chasing down this bishop. But bishop h4, the bishop is at least defended. I don't know, it feels like white's position is like hanging on by a thread. This knight on a5, misplaced, but can come back very easily with knight c6. And I would imagine that's going to happen at some point And yeah, otherwise white's position here kind of under pressure. But let's see how Z-Kid here deals with it. Maybe he can come up with something. But honestly, doesn't look easy. Time situation also not in white's favor here. Jeffrey up 30 seconds on the clock. And we've seen how dangerous Jeffrey can be when like the opponent is in time pressure. He can really set some nasty problems. But his position objectively here is just good. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Yeah, to be fair, I'm a big fan of James Canty as well, so I can't really blame you there. But okay, let's see. Knight h4. Yeah, white is hoping to trade something off here, but pieces look very, very vulnerable. Yeah, knight c6. Queen takes on g6. Now bishop takes f4. h3 is hanging. Maybe black can take this one, as is d4. So white's position here, I feel like, might be on the verge of collapsing. Let's see what he takes. I think he takes on d4. Yeah. Now bishop is under attack. Knight is hanging. Bishop has to stay here defending. Bishop takes h3. He's holding on, though. Knight g3. He's defending. White is defending really, really well here. He's not going down easy. So this is still going to take some effort for black to win. Yeah, maybe just h5 here, h4. Okay, knight is hanging. Sorry, gotta defend the knight first. Yeah, I feel like h5, h4 has to be the plan. Okay, queen d3. There we go. And black is just dislodging this knight from g3. Okay, knight f5. Rook e6, heading for g6, but then there's knight e7 check, so can't go there yet. Okay, white offers the endgame, and now Jeffrey, it feels like, wow, black was almost relieved to go for the endgame. He's like, yes, let's just do the endgame. I'll win this, no problem. Tired of trying to like checkmate the opponent with seconds on the clock. But no, this is, I mean, anyone's game now. I mean, these guys just have seconds. Now we're in a rook endgame. Jeffrey, what happened? He flagged. Oh no. He might have disconnected there for a second or just lost focus, but Jeffrey flagged. I did not think we would see that. Wow. Wow, white wins this game. A bit fortunate, but again, this is Title Tuesday. We take those. All right, we have champ Ronak Sudwani winning against Twitch Elham Blitz. Let's see, Mashanik. He won as well. This is Grandmaster Sarana from Russia, really strong young kid. Pragnananda, he's still playing. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, he's very busted, guys. He is not doing good in this game. But normally he's crushing, but this was not his game. Let's see if he can get some kind of stalemate trickery going. Okay, 2 knights, but yeah, just too many pawns for black. And he's not going to take the knights. He's leaving them on the board to increase his stalemate chances, but the 1 second increment, it's really a lot of time for players of this level. I don't think black is gonna mess this one up. I think he's absolutely fine. Hey, what's up, Grandmaster Cool? How's it going? And that's gonna be a G, so the IM takes the young phenom down. Let's see who else we got. We got Kovalev going down as well. Let's take a look at our standings. So still a bunch of players with 5.5, but we see actually it's cut off, but yeah, we don't have that many players on a perfect score. I think something like 10 or 11 so far, 5 out of 5. Still have Gawain Jones here, Z-Kid, Becca, Petrashvili. Yeah, a couple IMs, you know, not just GMs at the top, which is just cool to see. Let's see what other games we can find here. Okay, that one's over. Okay, we have Amin Tabatabaye from Iran, really strong Iranian grandmaster, and he's trying to convert this one, queen versus knight. It is winning, and it is supposed to be pretty easy, but in blitz, like, you're always super, super careful here against the knight, because yeah, it's so easy to mess it up. But he of course has no problem, wins that one. Let's jump to our next game. Looks like we jumped into this one at the right moment. Draw by agreement. Yeah, very instructive opposite color bishop endgame. Black's king cannot be dislodged from a7 here, and the bishop won't be able to be dislodged from the g5 square in that last position. So yeah, players agreed to a draw. Okay, round 6 is starting, guys. We have Vlad Dobrov, really strong grandmaster against Badur Jabava. That's cool. Let's see who else we have at the top here. Just waiting for the games to update. Okay, we have Z-Kid again. We saw him flag Jeffrey. He's playing Ronak Sudwani. This could be an interesting game. And we have Gawain Jones. We haven't watched Gawain play. He's playing FM from Russia. Slavanok. Not sure. Okay. Looks like we have some kind of English setup here from Gawain. Gawain is a very strong English grandmaster. He did hit 2,700 at one point in his career, but generally he's like 2660, 2680, kind of like around this range. FIDE, so super strong. And also, yeah, fantastic blitz player. Now here, white just has the 2 bishops, and in particular his light scored bishop, the unopposed bishop, the bishop that black does not have a copy of, is a very powerful piece in this position. So I think strategically white is just crushing here. Bishop is just very strong, and we'll see how he converts it with the 2 bishops. Just first he plays a3, like covering the b4 square, not giving black any knight b4 ideas. Okay, now black is attacking the f pawn. White definitely has to deal with that, so he goes rook e2. And yeah, the plan from here I think is to just slowly improve. Maybe b4, b5 to chase down this knight and put some pressure. But now black is playing bishop f6, kind of implying he wants to play knight d4 here, and just kind of implant that knight on the d4 square, force white to take it and give up one of his bishops. But queen e4, rook d2. Now I feel like black has to be very careful of a queen g6, bishop e4 idea. This could just end the game if black isn't in time to meet this. At the moment, queen e4 can be met with knight e7, so I think he's okay. But now, queen g6, but now he can go queen g6, exactly. Now that knight e7 is hanging the rook, now Gawain plays it, and now bishop e4 is coming, and black might be just getting mated here. I wouldn't be surprised if he traded off that knight as well, just to eliminate the problem piece. This knight on d4, very active, very annoying. Just take it, and then just win the game on the light squares. So that was very instructive. Black kind of blew it there. Now he has bishop d5 if he wants to win the exchange, which I think is pretty good. He can also just go for the attack and cover the e-file and set up that checkmate. So this is, I think, a really powerful idea for white here. Bishop g6, bishop d5, and black's king is just getting mated. Oh, did Z-Kid miss mate in 1? Oh no. We'll go back and check it out. Oh, bummer. Okay, f4 here. Yeah, Gawain here is just playing for the breakthrough. Just dislodging black's bishop. Black decides, okay, I'd rather give up the bishop than open the e-file, and that's going to be checkmate. Okay, let's check out Z-Kid. Did we really miss mate in 1? Come on, Steve. You're better than that. Let's see, check. Where was the mate in 1? Knight b4? Oh man, he played bishop d3 in 2 seconds. Oh no, no. He had it. He had it. Oh man. Oh man. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wonder if he noticed during the game. It's really hard to tell. I don't know if he noticed. If he noticed, that's not a good thing for Steve. Because if you notice you miss something like mate in 1, or like you could have won their queen, and the rest of the game you're just kicking yourself like, how did I not see that? Like, no, it wasn't twice. It was only the one time, because he played queen h4, black played knight b4, so he could have given mate here, but after bishop d3, black gave check. So he can't do it here, unfortunately. Black gives check and then castles, so he only had one chance to do it. Normally one chance is enough. No, I think he was just moving too quickly, and at this level, you know, you don't expect your opponent to hang mate in 1, right? So the brain just doesn't expect it, you know, guys. It's like a weird psychological thing. When you really don't expect something, you like don't notice it, even if it happens, right? So it's like a reverse law of attraction. I don't know how it works, guys. I'm not an expert, but there's something to that. If you're not expecting to win, you're less likely to win. If you're not expecting your opponent to blunder, you're less likely to catch them on their blunders. I think there is some truth to that. Well, now we have this endgame where I guess black is a little bit better with the 2 bishops and kind of active rook. But it feels like white has really good drawing chances because he has this lever with a5 that he can use to try and trade off some pawns. So that's going to be white's plan here. Try to just trade off the queen side if he can. Black is, of course, going to try to keep some pawns on the queen side to one day promote. Am I saying that GMs don't look for candidate moves? Yeah, not in like a really, let's say, systematic way. Yeah, it's not like every move we're like, let's look at the checks, let's look at the captures. No, this is blitz, and blitz, you're often just playing your first instinct move, and you either see something or you don't. So if white had paused there even for like a millisecond and was like, wait, hold on, what's happening? He, of course, would have seen it. But he was just in like the blitzing, mindset, right? And so very, very easy to overlook it. Can we check out Robert Hess? Yeah, absolutely. Let me follow Joppy here. Oh no, unable to follow Joppy. Did they stop playing? /follow GMS. Oh, he's Joppy 2. Okay, this is Hess against Van Forest. Oh boy, crazy game here. Looks like Robert just sacked an exchange. And last move, he played Rook E1. Very interesting moment. He could have played Queen G3, but I think he didn't want to allow the check. But maybe that would have been good anyway. You can also give in Rook G7 check. But he goes Rook E1 to cover, giving black time to play Rook G8. Now B3, Queen E4, what a move. If takes, he has Knight D2 check. So it's not like white can just take and take the knight. If takes, Knight D2 check, black keeps the extra piece. So I think black is winning this one. He can just trade queens, and he has extra piece in the endgame. And yeah, very unfortunate. I think Robert was winning that one, but he had some like computer win. It wasn't, not sure it was so obvious. But maybe he could have played Queen G3 here, and then on Queen E4 check. Wait, no, I think this doesn't work because there's Rook G8 and everything is covered. Rook G7 maybe Rook G7, then Queen G3, and now black can't really defend against the mating attack. I think that was it. King A1, and like black has time, but the rook and queen are too strong. It's not easy to see with seconds, unfortunately. Okay, let's go back to, this is Z-Kit against Sudwani, and black is probably winning this one, guys. Rook behind the pass pawn, very, very strong. White's rook is super passive here, and black's king is just going to try to walk in and dominate. Now, white is hoping to keep his king on the king side so he can like create some counterplay, but usually these things are pretty much lost. Rook B3 there. Oh, beautiful zugzwang. Beautiful zugzwang. Gorgeous, gorgeous. White just has no moves in this position. After, okay, he's careful not to allow stalemating ideas. And looks like he won. Very nice move, Rook B4, and white is getting mated. I just want to point out the zugzwang, guys. So nice. Rook B3. The king cannot move up because of checkmate. White had to give up a pawn on the G5, and of course Rook can't move because of promotion. So very nice win there by Sudwani. Okay, let's see if we have any games left in this round. Okay, Andreykin. Oh, Battle of the Dimitris. Dimitri Kolar is against Dimitri Andreykin. Looks like Andreykin wins. That's cool. When are they doing like the Dimitri Speed Chess Championship? Does anyone know, guys? Anyone in the chat? The Dimitri Speed Chess, like they're just gonna, I heard they were gonna invite the top like 8 Dimitris in the world and have them. Is that not a thing, guys? When is that happening? Maybe I just heard about that randomly. Okay, we have Tregubov against Chelsea Monica, who I think is a streamer. And looks like white is trying to win this one. Extra knight. Looking pretty good. But yeah, of course this is a theoretical draw, and honestly an easy one at that. A pretty easy draw for black to hold, usually. Rook and knight versus rook, honestly not that hard to hold. Rook and bishop gets very tricky. Even the best players in the world will mess up rook and bishop in blitz and classical. But rook and knight, the problem is like even when it feels like you've made a lot of progress, honestly, it's very hard to set up threats. Like, basically, your opponent has to blunder. Like, black has to, like, blunder, the rook has to be, like, out of position, or, like, hang the rook, or black can flag, of course, but that's kind of the only way black can really lose this one. Wow, draw by 50 move rule. Man, Chelsea Monaco really, really taking the GM to town, trying for the full 50 moves. Okay, round 7 looks like is starting. And yeah, we have Jobava here once again. Let's see the standings. We have just a couple of players now on perfect score, 6 out of 6. So look, we have Ronak Sudwani, I am Petriashvili from Georgia, Becca 95, and Gawain Jones, aka Verdnot, with 6 out of 6. So let's check out Sudwani versus Gawain Jones. This should be a fascinating battle. This should be absolutely amazing. B3, E5. Okay, again with the B3. And Gawain, of course, is no amateur. He goes knight d4, bishop c5, knight f5, and then he drops back bishop f8. Gawain spent 13 seconds on bishop f8. So I don't know if this is some kind of theory or over-the-board improvisation, but it's an odd move, bishop f8. It makes sense against knight f5. It's kind of funny, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, game is continued. White played knight g3, d5, takes, queen takes d5. Now white takes on f6, gf6, knight c3. Wow, giving up the dark squared bishop, but I'm not sure if this is like that great for white. I mean, black is going to have a really powerful dark squared bishop, f5, bishop g7. I think black will get some compensation here, but we'll see. And also, where is white's knight going? Because knight g3, there might be f4. So he goes knight g5. Okay, dropping back to f3. And that'll be much, much safer. Yeah, Gawain Jones is a great author. He's written a number of books. Now, I think he wrote 2 on the Dragon, on the Sicilian, and I feel like he wrote more, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay, knight d4. Yeah, playing for activity. Jeffrey Xiong playing Kamsky. That's cool. Maybe we can check out their game as well. Follow Jeffrey X. No. What's Jeffrey Xiong's name? He is Jeffrey X. Oh, I spelled it wrong. My bad. Okay. Wow, crazy game. Then we'll check out the Jeffrey game after this. Amazing. What is happening? Knight d4, e3, f4. Takes. Kind of throwing everything. But how's black going to develop here, right? Because like queen is hitting b7. So bishop b4. Now it has to be careful. If queen f4, there's bishop c3. Takes queen takes, so rook c1 defends this one. Bishop a3. Yeah, Gawain Jones, fantastic dragon player, fantastic King's Indian player. Basically, if you put your bishop on g7, Gawain Jones is a good player to study how to play that position. Yeah, he's really, I mean, not making it easy for white. Now rook c2 has to deal with like bishop f5. Second bishop comes out, so it goes rook d1, takes on e3. White can take with the queen here. Definitely doesn't want to take with the d pawn. That would hang the knight. Can also take with the f pawn. Kind of keep the structure more solid than like bishop c4. Yeah, fe3 looks right. And now black just has to kind of figure out how to get everything out. He might not have enough here for the pawn, but he definitely has something. So c6, bishop c4. And now white is developing actively. Bishop e6, allowing the trade. I guess he felt like he had no other option there. So he goes fe, castling queenside, very natural. So yeah, that's how he's going to try to create counterplay in this position, just opposite sides castling, hoping to bring a rook to the g-file. Maybe bishop can come to d6 one day, and just try to provoke, just try to get something against white's weakness. Why not queen at a4 instead of knight f3? Let's take a look. Wait, queen a4, not sure that was possible. because there is a pawn on b3. Yeah, there's been a pawn on b3 since move 1, actually. So queen a4 was tough. Okay, let's see what happened here. So white is pushing forward, now goes d4. It feels like Rook is in control here. Extra pawn, good position, but not so easy. Not so easy. Queen e7. Maybe rook df1. Now he wants to come in. The rook f7. So black is covering. Yeah, Gawain is trying to hold on. Now time to improve the knight. Yeah, I was just going to say knight e2, knight f4. And looks like black might have to trade that one off and just go for the heavy piece endgame. This is not going to be easy defense for black. I think this will be pretty tough. Now white's thinking about it. He's not playing knight f4. Wonder what he's thinking about. Maybe g3? Blunt the bishop? Okay, g3, bishop c7. Oh, excuse me, guys. Knight f4 would be hanging the rook. That's why you didn't play it. Yeah, this rook is just hanging, guys. What are we talking about? Okay, rook drops back. e5. Takes. Bishop takes. Okay, now black is getting some hanging or some open lines. Yeah, you guys are absolutely right. Yeah, rook on f6 was hanging. Okay, well, we got rook endgame all of a sudden. Yeah, black found a way to get some counterplay. I guess white just couldn't figure out a way to keep the pressure. Black gets e5 and opens things up. Takes, and now we have rook endgame equal pawns. So well defended by Gawain Jones. And now, if anything, okay, he has a little bit of time. Feels like draw should be the most likely result, but I think the players are going to play this out. Because why not? They're both, like, they're fighters, you know, they just want to, like, maybe one of them can win. As long as one of them can win, I think they're going to keep playing this out. So g4, b5. Muba with the roast. That's pretty funny. Okay, c5, black going for the passed pawn here. Objectively, these positions are usually drawn, but with opposite sides like passed pawns, they're always very, very sharp. So honestly, either side could end up winning this one. I wouldn't be surprised. Objectively looks drawish, but again, they're like both sides are going to get a passed pawn here, and who knows what could happen in the pawn race. So yeah, I think this is going to be pretty messy actually. Now black can take on b3, white can take on h7. We get like 2 passed pawns each. I mean, it's going to be crazy. And who's ahead now? Looks like maybe white's a little bit faster. White's pawn is at the 6th rank first. So black is backing up. But no, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think this is going to work for black because the king can't really approach. So white might be faster here. g7. No gives check. He's not sure about it. h6. Oh, what is happening? h7, you guys see that? If he takes, black takes, that black wins. It goes h7. Oh, man. This is insane. That was absolutely insane what just happened. I'm like totally speechless. Okay, white's winning now. The queen wins this easily. This is insane what he did. He played h6, check. I thought he'd blunder this. I thought like, oh man, he messed it up. In h7, black's rook can't stop the pawns anymore. Wow, crazy stuff. And then he promotes, and we end up in this position, and white's g-pawn ends up promoting with check. I mean, honestly feels kind of fortunate for white there. I mean, very surprising. But yeah, absolutely sick. And he should be winning this one. We have the c-pawn, but white's king was very close. And once again, we have queen versus knight. Wow, I have no idea how he won that on seconds on his clock. That was kind of amazing. All right, let's see some other games. Looks like Robert Hess won. Jeffrey Xiong beat Kamsky. We didn't get a chance to see this game. We have a couple more games going on here. A couple super FMs. And yeah, Rook versus Knight. I'm surprised we haven't seen more of these endgames like being played out. Usually you see these like every time in Title Tuesday. At least as a player, it's like this is always, feels like this is always the last game that happens. Some kind of like 50 move scramble. Rook versus Knight, also pretty easy for the Knight to hold against the Rook. I mean, you can definitely mess it up, especially in blitz and in time trouble, but generally it's like even this position, like black is still holding. So it's yeah, it's like just very, very hard to actually mess it up. King f8 here, I think. Yeah, just keep the king close to the knight. Now knight g8 check, and this is kind of a known draw. White doesn't really have anything to do here to create chances. It looks scary for white, but ultimately the knight, as long as it's close to the king, always kind of has a move. And so, oh, maybe you might have missed something there. I don't know. Yeah, even when you have a chance, it's like hard to spot it. And now black is drawing again. Did he miss a checkmate? I don't know. I think there was something with like the pre-moves there. It was very quick. It was like, I don't know, happened too fast. Okay, next round is starting. This is round 8, guys. We have Jeffrey against Paramaxudlu. Ooh, a couple of heavyweights, guys. Absolute heavyweights. 2 players on 7 out of 7, Ronak and Petriashvili. But yeah, these two, maybe we'll watch this game, guys, because Param is he's pretty beastly. He's like an amazing player. This is the board 4 game, by the way. So here we have board 1. And this I am from Georgia. I mean, doing amazing, 2800. Nikolaj Petriashvili. Shout out to Nikolaj. And let's see, board 2, we have Dobrov against Andreykin. Maybe we'll watch board 2, actually. We haven't seen too much of Andreykin play. And yeah, FM guys can be 2953. Sometimes, you know what happens? These guys, they specialize in blitz. They get really, really good in blitz. And maybe their classical is like not as good, or maybe they haven't devoted as much time to classical. But you know, some players, yeah, they specialize in blitz and they just get like insane ratings. Insane, right? Like 3,000, 2,900. I mean, you can do it, guys. You can do it. So very interesting open Sicilian position here with opposite sides castling. This was kind of Scheveningen. Should be 3, knight b3, f4. Now white puts the queen on h5 and goes g4, g5. So now very typical and very straightforward plan. It's just to put the rook on h3 for white and just ask black, how are you going to defend h7, bro? Like, how are you going to defend this one? Yep, there he goes. Rook g1, rook g3, rook h3. And now black maybe has to make room for rook e8, knight f8. But then white gets to advance, f5, g6, and the attack continues. So really interesting position. We'll see how Andreykin handles this one. White can also consider using the h-pawn here. So black goes bishop d7. He's saying he's not afraid of rook g3. But feels like he should be. Okay, bishop d3. Wow, slows down. Doesn't go for it. Not sure what he didn't like about that. Seemed like rook g3. I mean, black still had time to defend, like rook e8, knight f8, but still black has to make those moves, and the attack continues. Bishop d3, knight e5. Wow, very tactical. Hitting the knight on a4, trading this one off. And now I think white's attack is much slower. Now the position is opening up. And I think black might be fine here. So yeah, Andreykin must have missed something. Because definitely his attack was looking really, really strong. Well, okay, now we're here, guys. Now we're here. And now, yeah, I think he kind of realizes, like, oh, this isn't this isn't what I wanted, but still, have to make the most of it. E takes d6 here. Yeah, 3 more rounds to go, guys, after this. And we're going to be taking a quick 5-minute break after the conclusion of this round. And Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go for all out for the attack, but I mean, this is the open Sicilian, you know, this is the place where you do have to just kind of invest and go all in with white here. But, okay, well, let's see what happens. Knight c5, queen e8. Rook g4. Now he's going this way, rook h4, because h7 is hanging. So he finally finds finds his sights on this idea. Very nice, rook h4. And that might be GG. All of a sudden, black couldn't defend it. Possibly missed by black here, this idea, or maybe he was hoping for some f5 or something. Feels like f5 now only moved to create a square for the king, but I think the position should collapse from there. White can take on Poussin. He goes h6. White takes. Now feels like, yeah, kingside is opening up. So well played by Dimitri. I think black somewhere must have missed a better defense. Now he tries bishop f3, but yeah, feels kind of desperate. I feel like queen e4 here, and black's position should be kind of falling apart. Maybe queen g4. Yeah, he plays queen e4. Knight has to go back to g6. And now white can play maybe h4, h5. Rook g1 also looks very, very tempting. And yeah, I mean, white still has some work to do here, but feels like black is under a lot of pressure. f5. No, actually, no, it's still tricky, guys. It's still really tricky. Still very complicated. I mean, black has a lot of weaknesses here, but white has to find the right moves to kind of finish it off. And black is gonna keep holding on here. King h7, rook f6. He's gonna do whatever he can. Okay, now maybe time to take. Okay, takes on e6. Now he has knight g5 check. So that looks very, very strong for white. Yeah, position is starting to collapse for black. We'll see what he comes up with. Actually, very hard to find a move here for black. Okay, goes rook f6. Attacking the knight. Now maybe knight g5 check. hg. Okay, plays knight g5. King h8. Take on g7 with check, and then king takes g7. Maybe time for h4, h5, fighting for the g file. Could be f4. He goes back, knight f3, really interesting move. Just putting pressure on the bishop and creating this pin. Now rook c8, maybe queen h4, yep, love it. Again, using the pinned knight to use this square. Now threatening some queen h6, bishop h6. Bishop takes b2, tactics, queen takes e3. Uh-oh. Now it's like anyone's game. I mean, white can definitely still win this, but position has gone super messy. Oh, queen h6. Very nice move. With a draw offer, guys. I see it in the live chess. Offering a draw because he's going into the endgame. Wow. With a draw offer. Kind of surprised by that because now it feels like black is doing really well. He's like forcing a queen trade. But he offered the draw. I guess he wasn't too confident about it. Okay, let's jump to board one real quick. And here it looks like Ronak is dealing with some stalemate issues. He's winning, but well, look at this, guys. White has the crazy rook. He's just trying to get the king off of the b file. I'm sure black should be able to win this, but he's gonna have to get white's king out of stalemate before he does this. Okay, rook c6. Yep. King b5. And that's it, actually. That's it. No more checks for white. No more checks. He takes on c4. It's a good try. But now rook g8. Yeah, black is just getting the rook as far away from the b file as possible. A very human move there. Just get the rook off of the b file. No more stalemate. Game over. Okay. Let's see here. Any other games in this round? We got Chess Warrior. Wow, look at this. This is some kind of like study-like position. And black has the extra piece, but white has a very strong g-pawn. It might be very drawn here because black's knight has to deal with the pawn and doesn't have time. Okay, knight d6. He has knight f5 check on g7. So g7, black just goes knight f5, takes the pawn, and wins. But now the knight again has to go back. And it feels like, yeah, white can just keep chasing the knight around. and should be a draw. Should be a draw objectively, because the knight just can't find a square to defend the pawn against. So we're just going to get this cycle, get this repetition. King e6 now, and yeah, looks like draw is a good result there. Okay, let's see what else we got. We got Gawain Jones winning against Jordan Van Forest. Wonderful time. Shout out to Min Lee, another streamer, winning as well. Looking at the standings, we got Ronak, perfect 8 out of 8. And then a bunch of players on 7 out of 8. They'll be trying to catch up. Next round, Ronak probably playing Dobrov or maybe Andreikin, probably the highest rated player. So maybe we'll see him against Andreikin. That should be an interesting matchup. And okay, a few games here remaining. We've got Queen versus Rook, classic endgame. Difficult to win, but also difficult to hold in Blitz. So I do think White can win this one, although it'll of course depend on the player's nerves. Let's check it out. Now, okay, Black is just trying to hold on to the Rook. And here's the problem. When you defend passively like this, it actually is very easy for White to make progress. The way the engine defends these positions is the engine just finds like crazy long Rook moves, where it just calculates that there's no way to lose the Rook and keeps the Rook at a distance. But it's very, very hard to do that as a human, because you assume as soon as you move the Rook somewhere, there's going to be some kind of check or something to like pick up the Rook. But the engine, it calculates it's like, there's no checks, and it's able to hold on for much longer. Okay, another Rook versus Knight. This is the last game of the round, and then we'll be going on a quick break after this one is over. We're going to have a 5-minute break in the tournament. And yeah, this generally a pretty easy draw, but there are ways to mess it up, especially with just seconds on your clock. So White here definitely has to be very, very careful. But even here, the Knight feels a little bit misplaced, still has a lot of checks to mess with Black's coordination. Now, okay, King should have gone to g3 there to get off of the h-file, but that's okay. Okay, King here, Knight h6 should be good still. And yeah, even when the King is on the back rank like this, it's still very, very drawish. Hey, we got Chess Latte in the chat with the dojo emotes. Shout out to Chess Latte. What's up, guys? And okay, that's going to be it for round 8. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break here. Be back with more Title Tuesday here on Chess.com, guys. We have the standings. Ronak Sudwani, perfect 8 out of 8, and a bunch of players following him. Dobrov, Andreikin, Becca, National Master Shopkin doing really well, 7 out of 8. Wonderful time. Mashonik, that's Alexei Sarana, Jeffrey Xiong, Petriashvili. Yeah, tons of players on 7 out of 8. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere. I'll catch you after the break. 3 more rounds to go in Title Tuesday. See y'all in a bit. All right, guys, welcome back. We have games. We are back. Round 9, titled Tuesday. Got Jeffrey Xiong here playing against the leader, Sudwani. Perfect score, 8 out of 8. If anyone can take this kid down, it's gotta be Jeffrey. And yeah, it should be really interesting games. Let's follow this one for now. Hey, what's up? How's everyone doing? Hey, we got Praviduus in the chat. What's up, Pravid? Pravid, excuse me. Any other dojo homies here? Yeah, shout out to the dojo. All right, what kind of opening do we have here? So Ronak doesn't go for his usual B3 against Jeffrey. He goes for the serious stuff. D4, knight of 3. Okay, C5, C3. Some kind of, it's like reverse English here. Really unusual structure. It seems like black is doing fine so far. He has isolated pawn on b6, but this one is not that difficult for black to defend, but pretty tricky for white to attack. So I think this one is not really a real weakness. So it seems like black should be all right here, and we'll see how he kind of plays this one. I would expect queen c7, maybe knight e5, knight d5. Interesting, hitting white's bishop. Yeah. All right. So knight d5, bishop went back. Knight c5, queen c1, e5. I think black is looking good here. He's taking over the center, but now knight b5, attacking the d pawn. That's definitely going to need to be defended. And yeah, people in the Chess.com chat really excited. This is an intense game, going to be epic. Yeah, this is actually going on in the game chat, which is pretty cool. Hey, what's up, Chess Latte? Thanks. I'm glad to be here as well. I usually, play Title Tuesday and like withdraw around like 5 and 6 once I've lost several games. But it's good to just be like kind of commentating on it and just checking out the games of the top players, guys. If there's any other players you guys want to see, let me know. We can definitely take a look at their games. We have on board 2 here, Andrejkin versus Giga Kuparadze from Georgia, really strong blitz player. I think I've lost a few games to him, if I remember correctly. Maybe not. But yeah, he's looks like pretty solid here. 2 bishops against Andrejkin, but going to be hard to convert this position. Though if anyone is better, it's supposed to be white, although in blitz, 2 knights can get tricky as well. So officially, like, white is supposed to be better, but again, in blitz, knights are tricky. So anyone's game here. Anyone's game. Now the strategy for black would be, of course, to try and trade off one pair of minor pieces and leave himself either knight versus bishop or bishop versus bishop. If black is like trying to win this game, which I imagine, Dimitri is really strong blitz player. He's probably looking to create some winning chances in the long run. He's going to want to trade off bishop for light squared bishop so that he can get knight versus bishop. That's going to be the imbalance where you kind of get the most winning chances. You also open yourself up to losing, so you take on some risk when you take on a lot of imbalances. But if he's trying to win, that's what he's going to be trying to do, I think. It's trading off a bishop and leaving himself with knight versus one of white's bishops here. Because then the knight can hop around close position and try to put some pressure. But here, I don't know. I mean, black has to be very careful not to ever allow any kind of like bishop h6 breakthrough ideas. Seems like white should be at least okay. Let's get back to Jeffrey real quick. Now, this one is looking very even. So this one, I imagine, very likely heading towards a draw. Now, in 3-0 without increment, you're just like, okay, one of the players is going to flag. But in 3-1, I don't think either of these guys are going to flag, and the position looks pretty stable. So, like king e2 here, don't let the knight in. And yeah, so I would expect Ronak to maybe hold this one. Maybe black is officially a little bit better because he's like more active here, has a little bit more space. King is more active, but yeah, I think white should be able to hold this one objectively. Let's see, we also got Sarana against Gawain Jones. Oh, this looks like a classic Gawain Jones King's Indian, guys. Excuse me, I gotta take a look at this one. Gawain is a King's Indian mastermind. Okay, we got this crazy g4 line, and looks like black fights back. Really interesting stuff. Both rook pawns working here for black. Amazing. But he might just be like getting mated in the game position. It looks very, very dangerous. Let's stick on with this one because the other two were kind of like somewhat, you know, dry in games. This looks very exciting. Let's see what's happening here. I mean, white is trying to win this. Black is trying to defend. If rook g7, black is just giving the queen for the two rooks. So what is white going to do here? The problem for white in these positions, it's like, how do you get your other pieces in? So he tries. He plays f4, opening up the bishop, and hopefully opening up the knight. And he's hoping that it's going to be enough for the attack. Maybe taking on e5 here. He goes f5. Wait, rook is hanging again, so he defends that one. That makes sense. Now bishop h5 feels like could be the move here. White can also take this h-pawn at some point. He goes bishop h5, rook takes, he'll take, and now I think he's just going to pick this one up and maybe even take on a3 at some point. You can go king c2, king b3. Yeah, definitely white is in total control here, so we should be able to convert this one. King g8, probably can just even take on h7 and go for the endgame, honestly. Like knight versus bishop, yeah, close position. Yeah, I think this is a grandmaster approach, guys. b5, look at that, just shutting down the bishop. And now black is losing the a-pawn because the bishop will never be able to defend it. And white, in the meantime, keeps the bishop out from creating any counterplay. So really, really interesting stuff. Okay, now just knight a6, I think, and going after this one. Oh, but there was bishop b3. So knight c2, very, very accurate, taking black's a-pawn. And now I think white can just go after the pawn on c7. Because here's the thing, like black has the pawns on like the opposite color of the bishop, which is supposedly correct, but it also means that the bishop can never defend these pawns either. Jeffrey won the game. Wow, crazy, crazy. We'll have to take a look, see how that happened. Okay, white is winning this one as well. Well played there by Sarana. What happened? How did Jeffrey win this? I thought he was okay. Bishop b4. Takes on b3. Ooh, nice trick. Maybe black missed this one. e4 check. Takes, king c4. All of a sudden, black's king gets in. And just like that, it is over. This is just like a losing endgame. I mean, honestly, I probably would have played it out. But yeah, it is pretty much busted. This pawn is coming in. The king is coming in. And black is winning probably at least a piece for this pawn. That's just game over. Wow, so Jeffrey takes down the leader. Opens up the tournament completely. Now we have a bunch of players on 8 out of 9. We have Jeffrey, Sarana, Becca 95, Chess Warrior, that's Nunderbeck, Dobrov. Yeah, a ton of players on 8 out of 9. Let's see, we're also following this game. This is the game between Kuparadze and Andrekin. Looks like this one was drawn. Let's see who else we got. Jospem losing, going down. Who else we got? Arthur Gabrielian in a queen endgame against Nikolaj. Who was Gawain's opponent? Gawain was playing Grandmaster Alexei Sarana, young kid from Russia. Not that young. I think he's like 19 or 20 now, but pretty young and talented. Yeah. Really, really strong. Okay, white wins this one with a nice checkmate there at the end. Let's see. We got Dennis Q winning by timeouts. Yeah, this is the end of the round, so a lot of games going to be wrapping up here. Let's see. All right, this game is drawn. And just going to wait for the games to update. Might be it, guys. Might be it. Might be it. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Rook endgame, 2 versus 1. Classic, classic. It's a drawn situation, but black is going to try to convert it. White is... It should be holding. His rook is active and his king is well placed, just kind of defending his one pawn. But in time trouble, not so easy. Okay, now actually, I mean, black is the one who's kind of flagging here, so maybe he's the one who has to be careful. But yeah, I think white is holding with these checks, right? These checks are super annoying. Very hard for black to make progress. Yes, looks like we have a draw there. And let's see, any more games? Any more games? This one's over. And that's it, guys. All right, we are headed to round 10. And we have Jeffrey Xiong against Noterbeck. This is the top game. We also have Becca 95. We haven't seen too much of. Becca 95, this is Alexander Injik, of course, Grandmaster Injik. Very tall guy, chat was saying, one of the tallest people in the world. Yeah, really tall, really tall Grandmaster. Also a very good blitz player, very, very fast. I've seen this guy play classical chess, and he plays like, he always has like an hour and a half on his clock. He plays so fast. This guy is just like pure blitz player. As pure as they get. So he's going to be fighting against Ronak here. Yeah, a couple of blitz specialists. And then we have the Battle of the Juniors. Jeffrey Xiong against Noterbeck. Both really, really strong players. Definitely like top 5 for their age, I would imagine, for many years now. They're not the same age. Jeffrey, I believe, is a few years older, but yeah, both really, really talented, very, very young grandmasters, and super strong. Okay, this looks like some kind of 4 knights Scotch. I'll just quickly back up through the opening. And solid stuff. Solid. Queen G3. Yeah, we can say white is like a hair better, you know, like just a millimeter better. We'd rather be white here. We have like ideas of a C4 pawn break, which can be slightly annoying for black to deal with, because then black has to either fix the pawns or take on c4, and that's not always so comfortable. But yeah, not the most exciting game. Let's see what else we got. Okay, Becca 9-5 against Ronak. Okay, this looks pretty fascinating. Let's take a look at this one. This is some kind of closed Benoni. Yeah, very closed position here, and both sides traded off the darks for bishops early on. White has a lot more space. Very instructive plan here with Rook b1 and b4, playing for activity on the b file. And yeah, it looks like black is in big trouble. I mean, it's not just the evaluation, it's just the space advantage for white is tremendous here. d6 is under attack, b7 is under pressure. If the queens come off, well, the d6 pawn just falls, basically. And if black takes, and after hg, the h5 pawn falls. So strategically, I think Becca 9-5 has played like incredible game. I mean, just looking at it, like, I mean, usually these positions are kind of solid for black. You don't see black getting like killed this badly, but no, he played it fantastic. I love what he did. b4 takes. Just open b file, puts the rook on b6. Okay, black played knight f6. He's like, I can't trade queens. If I trade queens, I'm dead lost. So might as well be dead lost with queens on the board. So knight takes d6, rook to d8. And yeah, now white is in total control. Ronak lost the last game to Jeffrey. Might be a little tilted here. Might be going down again. We'll see if Becca 95 can take advantage. I mean, his position looks really good. Knight d1, that looks like he's aiming for knight e3, then either knight f5 or knight c4. Maybe he wants to get the pawn rolling as well, c4, c5. Notice white's domination here. Like, the knight is dominating this square and this square. Rook is defending the knight. Okay, now knight is under attack, so he's going to have to do something. Drops back, knight c4. Now white isn't castled, but position is closed, you know? What's black going to do about it? He's just going to play king f2, king g2 at some point, or he'll just castle, and that's it, get his king out. And he should be fine. Okay, let's see what is happening. Bishop d7, spending a little bit of time here. I guess black wants to go bishop to b5. Maybe white is thinking about this one. What to do? I mean, the position looks great for white, but you got to be really careful. Queen d2, going back. A little bit passive, but I'm sure he has some kind of concept here. Like, he wants to advance c4 and just push everything ahead. Knight d7, uh-oh. White is going to be forced to sack the exchange here, it seems. He can go knight f5, he has this tempo, but then what? Queen f8? White's rook all of a sudden in danger. So c4... I don't know about that. He could have also taken on g6 maybe, or gone knight f5 first. And now the position gotten very messy. White has now sacked the exchange, but it's not really what he wanted to do here. That wasn't exactly the plan. So Ronak is 100% back in the game now. Although I would say White's position still looks really nice. I mean, for the exchange, he has these two massive pawns, and if he can get them going, like knight d3, c5, that's going to be really difficult for Black to deal with. So queen c5, he goes for the blockade, but I don't know if the endgame was the right approach now for Black, because in the endgame, White just breaks the blockade. King c3, knight d3, and c5 is going to be pushed. So rook a5, trying to stay active. Makes sense. Maybe, well, king c3, rook a3 check. You got to back it up. So king c3, no good. Maybe knight d3 here, guys, and then c5. Or rook c1, and then trying to push c5. Okay, he goes bishop d3. Bishop d3, just improving the position this way. Rook c8, fighting against White's pawns. Bishop c2. Guess bishop is going to b3. Still, White is better, guys. White is definitely better. Jeffrey won his game. Wow, bravo, Jeffrey. Bravo, Jeffrey. What happened here? It looks like he got him into an endgame. Very weak structure here from Black, down a pawn. Oh, man, what happened? Well, it's like I said, guys. Like I said this c4 break, very unpleasant for Black. He went d4, and now White is just kind of dominating. Like e-file, c-pawn is weak, goes knight d5, and yeah, that's it, actually. If knight takes, it's queen h7, mate in 2. Right, defended by the bishop, and queen h8 checkmate. So h6, he was able to wreck Black's structure and win the c-pawn. Now it's just GG, yeah. Jeffrey doesn't let this one go. Okay, let's go back to Becca. Becca, whoa! Oh, Becca. Becca with the pawns. Look at this. Man, crushing it. Crushing it, absolutely crushing it. I guess he got the pawns moving, guys. I mean, we missed a couple of steps there, but I guess he got the pawns moving. Now he's just like killing it. Knight d5, knight b4. Nice, nice. Wins the exchange. He's going to be up a piece after knight takes c6. What's he thinking about? Goes king e3, huh? All right. All right. Gets a tempo. No, it's just resignable for Black. It's just GG. Rook h2. Okay, gives check. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So Becca wins again. He'll join Jeffrey with 9 out of 10. Let's see, Sarana versus Dobrov. They're still playing. Okay, this game is now critical. This is also a battle of the leaders. So Sarana and Dobrov can both be at the top if one of them wins this game. Now Black has an extra pawn. Black looks better. Black looks better. Let's flip it. We'll see it from Black's point of view. Always nice to see things from the attacker's angle. Okay, so e4, bishop g4. It's not easy to break through here. I feel like White has a very solid setup. Yeah, we'll see if he can come up with it. So yeah, guys, this tournament might well be decided by the tie breaks. We might have a lot of players tied at the top, and you see the number next to the players here. That is some kind of tie break. I don't know what it is. Maybe one of the mods or something can help me out. It's like a Sonnenburn burger, some kind of mathematical tie break where they add up the scores of the opponents. And the point of the tiebreak is just to show, like, well, who had like the toughest field, right? Like if your tiebreak is very high, that means you must have played players who are also scoring a lot of points, right? And so you kind of have a tougher field. And that's the logic there. It's like 2 players get 10 out of 11, but like one of them had to play much stronger players. Yeah, they kind of deserve the win. Okay, well, this game is drawn. So these players will be half a point behind going into the last round. We have Injik, Grandmaster Injik, Becca 95 on 9 out of 10, as well as Jeffrey. I assume they'll play. I don't think they've played so far. And yeah, there'll be a lot of players trying to catch up going into the last round. Okay, let's see if we have any other games here. Looks like Zhubov wins. Arabic Falcon, he started the tournament as a #1 seed, 3,000. Guys, he's 3,000, but he is behind. He has, looks like 8.5 points after this round. So he's tied for second. He definitely in contention here, and can sneak into the standings with a last round win. Okay, let's see. We have Tampa Chess against Pragnananda. Looks like Prague won that one. A lot of games ending. Okay, last game of the round, guys. Oh, another, man, we've been having a real theoretical discussion in this tournament with the Rook versus Knight endgame. So far, the Knight held. So far, the Knight has held. But we'll see, guys. We'll see if the rook can win one for once. It is a draw. It's a pretty simple draw. Honestly, it's really hard to go wrong. You just try to keep the knight next to your king. That's it. And yeah, it's difficult to make progress. It's difficult to win. But there are always chances. You know, if black messes up here, the knight goes to some wrong square, all of a sudden you can end up losing. Especially with seconds on the clock. So easy to lose a game in this position. But it looks like black is holding pretty steady. Oh, knight g3. That's right. Now black plays for the win, but they're gonna call it a draw because of like insufficient material. Personally, I wish you could just play on a few more moves just to see what happens, but that's fine. Okay, last round, guys. Starting, got critical round. Jeffrey against Grandmaster Injik from Serbia. Although he was living in the U.S. for several years, he went to college here in the States, so he played in a lot of the U.S. Open tournaments. And is no stranger to the U.S. Open scene, so I'm sure he and Jeffrey have actually probably played over the board before. Okay, let's actually flip it. I want to see it from White's point of view. I know we can't mate with the king and knight. I just want to, you know, why does the game have to be over? I just want to play a couple more moves. Let me move the knight around, right? I have an extra knight. Okay, anyway, so this game is going to be critical for the standings because these two players are on first place, and then we have 4 players on 8.5 out of 10, and they're all going to be fighting for their share of first, second, or third, whatever they can get. Oh, we have some big matchups here, guys. We have Kamsky versus Andreikin. Really tough pair here. We have Ranak Sudwani. Unfortunately, he started at 8 out of 8 and lost 2 games in a row. He goes down. And now he's playing I Am from Russia, Alex Triapishko, who's having a good event, it seems. And then we have the battle of the Bravs. We have Dobra versus Zubov. These guys, both very experienced and very good blitz players. This was a Catalan. We'll jump back to Jeffrey's game and in a bit, but let's just see what happened here. Wow, sharp stuff. I mean, it looks like White has really nice initiative here with Rook d1 coming and maybe e5 and Bishop g5. So I do like this for White, but okay, we'll have to get back to this one. Let's check out the top games. This is the game that could decide it all. If this game is decisive, then that player just wins Title Tuesday outright. If this game is not decisive, meaning it's drawn, then that opens up a bunch of players to catch up and tie with 9.5. Well, not a bunch. It opens up 4 players, all right, that are all playing each other. So 2 players could tie with Jeffrey and Becca with 9.5. And the players at 8 out of 10, they're going to have a tough time. Best case scenario, a bunch of these 8.5s draw, get 9 out of 11, and then these guys catch up with 9 out of 11, but that's very unlikely because you imagine we're going to get at least some decisive games on the top 3 boards. I mean, this game already looks super sharp. Jeffrey feels like he's getting some kind of initiative here. Oh man, it's queen on d2, looking kind of awkward for White, right, guys? Like blocking the bishop. How did this one happen? He played e4, rook e8, and then queen d2, sidestepping. I guess he thought he was winning a piece, but after rook takes e4. Maybe things are not so easy, right? Because the bishop is hanging. So this one might have been blundered. So he takes on f7, trying to get at least a pawn for the piece. Or I mean, get his pawn back. Now we have equal material, but yeah, black has kind of nice initiative here. Maybe rook e2. This feels like White definitely has some chances of holding on here. There's opposite color bishops. Black is certainly better, no question, like he's more active, but whether he'll be able to actually convert it, completely different story. So yeah, let's keep our eye on this one. Knight c2, rook a2. And yeah, let's see here. Wow, what is happening? a5. Wait, somehow Jeffrey snagged the pawn. How did that happen? Oh, bishop e6. There we go. That's how. You can grab this one. So yeah, Jeffrey looks very much in control here. He's up a pawn. It's definitely not easy to convert, but he is in control, so kind of in good shape. Also ahead on the clock, which just puts additional pressure on white. Now he's challenging white's active rook. Maybe rook e2 here. Just going full active, going after this pawn. We'll see. We'll see. Still not easy for black. Still not easy. What do you guys think? Do you think he's going to be able to convert it, or do you think draw is more likely? Aren't the tiebreaks dependent on how opponents in the previous games? Yeah, I believe the tiebreaks will be affected by all the games, right? So they take like all your opponents in the tournament and then like add up their score. They do some kind of average, and then yeah. So even in this last round, right, the guys that they played in like round 1 through 10, if they win their games, that kind of adds to their tiebreak scores. So yeah, everyone is. You always root for your opponents to do well once you play them, right? To kind of make your tie breaks better. Okay, rook e2, he's coming in on the 7th rank. Now f2 pawn is under attack. What can white do? King g1, king g3 look like options. King g1, you don't really want to go on the back rank. Then there might be just simple tactic. Rook e1 check, takes, rook takes c1. Oh, looks like Becca might be having connection issues. He spent a lot of time there on king to g3. Looks like it's better now. Always the worst thing when you have connection issues in like a critical moment, let alone decisive game, but like critical moment already. Very unfortunate. With bishop f4, he's fighting. He's looking for anything he can get, but now black has a very strong pass c-pawn. And yeah, I think Jeffrey is a big favorite to win from here. Big favorite. He also has a lot of time. And the thing is, white doesn't actually have real counterplay. He has some blockading stuff going on, right? But he doesn't have any real threats. Knight e5, knight g5. He doesn't have any moves here, right? So he just has to sit and try to hold against black's c-pawn. But that's really tough to do because black now has other weaknesses. And yeah, it looks like he is going down here. Sacrifices the exchange. I guess he felt like this is the only chance. I can't blame him. Hard to find anything else for black to do, but now for white to do, I should say. But now black should be winning this one. Yeah, so he can push c2. I think he's thinking about it because white can take on a6, and bishop is still covering this square. So I think Jeffrey is just looking for like a clean win. So knight b5, pushes c2, knight d4. I think we just trade that for black. Oh, he takes on e3. Oh, wow, look at this sick tactic. And rook c3. Holy moly, guys. This was fantastic. That was amazing by Jeffrey. What he just calculated there. Oh my god. And he wins the piece. That was like 10 seconds. That took him 10 seconds to calculate that, guys. That was insane. He took this one. This is what he calculated. Takes. With check. Knight f3, rook c3. And then I don't know if he saw that like white, I feel like he probably thought he's promoting. I don't know if he saw white gives this check, but it doesn't matter because he has knight e2 check and he promotes, and that's an extra piece. So that's it, guys. Jeffrey wins first place, Title Tuesday, Grandmaster Jeffrey Xiong. Amazing performance. He took down Ronak Sudwani, critical game, and then he wins this one. So yeah, 10 out of 11. Fantastic stuff. Looks like Dobrov won his game, so he hits 9.5 out of 11. And let's see, any top games still going. Arabic Falcon wins, so he is going to be joining Dobrov as well on 9.5. It looks like their tiebreak is actually very close. They're both on 53.25. So they're like straight up tied for second and third. Not sure how that's going to be decided, but they have the exact same tiebreak score. But looks like that is going to be our final standings, guys. Let's see if we have any more games to finish out the tournament. We have Jeffrey Xiong, first place, 10 out of 11. Arabic Falcon, Grandmaster Salem from the UAE, 9.5 out of 11. And Grandmaster Dobro from Russia, also on 9.5 out of 11, tied for second and third. Becca 9.5, amazing event, but he only finishes in fourth place, it seems, with 9 out of 11. Though this might be, these scores might be affected a bit by the tiebreak. Who knows, guys? Maybe the tournament's not over. Maybe the tiebreak will shift. There could be some remaining games that could affect the tiebreak. Actually, I don't know. The score might be updated. We might actually get a clear winner. Hey, thanks, Thunder Mike. Thanks. Tiebreak will adjust after the final game ends. So yeah, we'll take a look at that one. We'll keep an eye on it. For now, it seems to be equal, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, tiebreaks will update. They're telling me, guys. They're telling me in the behind the scenes. And they'll recalculate them post-round. So we might see one of these players actually win on tiebreaks, clear second place. Interesting to see what happens with that. In the meantime, any remaining games here I'm going to try to find. And that's it. Looks like the event is over, guys. And there you have it. Jeffrey Xiong, first place, 10 out of 11. Dobrov takes silver on tiebreak with 9.5 out of 11. Looks like his tiebreaks were slightly better. His tournament was slightly tougher than Arabic Falcon, who also finishes with 9.5. And yeah, then a bunch of players on 9 out of 11. Christopher Yu, International Master, finishes with 9 out of 11. Nice, shout out to Christopher. The only non-GM, it seems, in the top 8 or 10 or so. Then we have Injek, Sudwani, Norderbeck, Pragnananda, Zhubov as well, on 9 out of 11. Huge event, guys. Huge event. That's going to do it for me. Thanks to all who tuned in. Looks like we're just looking at the next game that got started here. But thanks so much, guys, for hanging out. It was a lot of fun to do this. Hopefully I'll be back for more Title Tuesday or like Arena Kings. I did Arena Kings a little while ago. That was fun too. But yeah, I'll be back hopefully. But that's going to wrap it up for me. This was International Master Kostya Kavutsky for Chess.com. You guys can check me out streaming on Chess Dojo live pretty much 7 days a week. I stream with the dojo with a couple of stream partners, and we're basically just going on every single day. So yeah, drop us a follow if you guys don't mind and want to hang out some other time as well. I'm sure we'll be streaming later today. Yeah, thanks to all for watching. I will catch you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.